Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Dimitri Johnson, and you're listening to MMALatestNews.com.
It's time to roll, baby.
Afternoon, everybody. What's going on? This is the Fighting Out of Manchester podcast, joined by Arcade Brendan and by Martin Stapleton. All right, Arcade?
All right, Arcade.
Great to have you on, Martin. It's been a while.
Yeah.
It has been a while.
It's because you're in Thailand all the time, mate.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, guilty. But there's loads going on with you, mate. Absolutely loads. And instead of meeting you for a coffee, I thought, why not just do it on here and have a buzz?
Why not, eh?
What's happening?
Where do you want to start?
The gym, mate, as well. Because all I've seen, I've trained there a few times now, and looking at it online, mate, blew everyone out of the water in the Northwest.
Well,
if not the UK.
Thanks, man. Nice, appreciate that, especially coming from you, mate, because you travel the world.
Tell us.
Well,
been to a gym or two, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been to the odd one, yeah.
Bit of a gym hopper, but you know.
Well, nothing, man. You know me. I just always want to make things a little bit better all the time, so we just keep progressing all the time. And then when lockdown happened, it was like, because no one was in the gym, it was the perfect time to rip everything out, get everything done.
Good point.
And I knew that they wouldn't let us do proper classes straight away when we reopened, so I just wanted a bag area set up straight away. So we ripped a load of flooring up, concreted it, put shit ton of new bags up. So
you have to get close to that because people are going to be wigging out in the comments.
Sorry, guys.
New to this. You know what I mean?
Brand new to this stuff, me. So now we've set it up now, so we can basically have like grappling on one side, striking on the other, strength conditioning going.
When I was last there, you were building a room with cameras. Or something. You was going to do something.
Yeah. So we kind of that was when it was like, so back in the day it was all like one big gym.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We've separated it now, so like I'm nothing to do with the commercial gym side of things.
All right.
So I just want to focus all my energy on martial arts, you know. So I've just SBG Rochdale is my bit now. So yeah, you've got the cage bit. Where all that is. So as you walk in, you've got the desk. Yeah.
And is that shared between you and them now? And then
we've got our own desk and everything.
Okay,
now, so
sweet.
like the entrance way is shared.
Yeah.
So like the commercial gym, full contact, they've kept that desk. We share the entrance way, and then when you come through, we've got our own desk there, and then everything's on our side. Now our own shower rooms, everything. Yeah.
What's happened now? What's changed? Because it looks like it's changed.
Yeah, you'll have to come down. It's a lot's changed. So
I know.
When you walk in there, now we've got our own. Like you remember back in the day, you'd had to walk all the way down past the sprint track and all that for the changing rooms.
That's right. Yeah.
When you come in now, like our changing rooms is like just straight away when you walk in, just before the boxing ring. And
got it.
We've done the proper jobs on the change rooms. Well, mate, wanted to make it like a hotel changing rooms, you know. So when people are finished training, it's not, you know, the crack with martial arts gyms. Normally, you finish training.
Shit.
It's stinking
Sweaty.
in there, water all
horrible.
over. We wanted to change that, man. So I wanted to make it look proper nice. So when you finish training, you can relax, have a nice shower, chill, and all that, and little seated areas.
You don't get many like
mate, he set the standard.
Commercial standard sort of facilities in MMA gyms. Have you even got plaster falling off the wall? I don't think you're allowed to be in MMA gym.
He did.
We have actually got a plaster bit. It's an old building still, so we've done the best with what we've got. But you know, there's always going to be them kind of little things.
I mean, another big reason that a lot of people go there now as well is you've got the perfect cage.
Yeah,
they really have. Their cage is the perfect cage.
Yeah.
Like when they had these big fights and they was going to fight in that size of cage, you can't find them anywhere.
Yeah. You got a full size, not the little. Like
it's just not got spikes hanging out and that.
Well, it's a 26-foot one, so it is pretty big. It's not quite. I think what's UFC 32 foot.
I think they use different sizes.
They got two, depending who they like.
Yeah.
Let's be real. That's exactly what fucking happens.
What will change from when you were last down as well is we've actually moved the cage out a little bit so you can walk all the way around the cage. So when you're sparring, you can set up corners.
Got it now. Got it.
So you can can set up your corner over here. He can set up his corner over, and you can run it like a proper fight night.
Fucking hell.
So you know, mate, for me that's important. Like
it is.
I keep going away from the microphone.
It's all right. Don't worry. He's getting into it.
Anchorman.
Getting well into it.
I don't need to do with my hair. So what, you know, I think for me it's important that to set up your sparring so it replicates fight night as close as possible that it can do. So that's why we pulled the cage out a little bit, so you can have your corners either side, you can have your walking and all that. The next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to get lights on a separate switch, so you can just have the cage lights.
Because that is a different feeling.
Yeah, exactly. And what I want to do,
make it dark outside.
Yeah, so it'll be dark around the cage.
Go on, States.
But I want to have.
Right, I apologize. I think we just lost you then a minute. Just recap what you were saying then. So you've built a full-size cage, or virtually a full-size cage. You're going for spotlights inside the cage so you can darken the whole outside of it, and a walkway?
Yeah, so we want to
Entrance music.
Yeah, so exactly, mate. So you say you want to come over because I mean you get contact me now and again, don't you? Say, can I get some spars in down there?
Yeah.
How good is it for you if you can come down, bring your sparring partner down, have your separate warm-up
Men.
areas, have a walk down, the lights are on, the lights are off in the... James Doolan's got it set up like that at his gym. With,
Is
with
that
just
where you
the
got
lights.
the idea?
Yeah, well, I've been thinking about it for a
Right.
while, then I seen James Doolan do it and I thought, do you know what? For the little bit of effort it'll take us to do that, why am I not doing it?
It really puts you above the rest as well, you know.
Yeah,
They've done it in SPG Island as well, haven't they?
yeah, that's right, yeah.
They've got a mural.
I've seen that, but that's a bit different.
Yeah.
But it's the same concept.
It's a mural of fans. That's not like
Yeah.
having lights and entrance music, which they probably have
I
as
think they do
well.
that as well, yeah.
They probably have as well,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
even that what they've got on the wall, it is a good thing. Like when you're in there,
Can
the
you
way
tell?
the way John's done it, it's like
It's right in a
the
recess.
crowds. Yeah, it's like the crowd's proper set back, so it feels like there's a crowd.
Does it
around
actually
you.
feel like
Yeah,
it?
it's good, man. It's really good. Yeah.
I've seen the
Psychology-wise,
picture.
that's got to be good for replicating what I imagine. I fought in a sports centre, so I imagine
haven't we
fighting
all,
in a
mate?
fucking arena. Yeah.
Workman's clubs.
An arena with
Catrick.
either a friendly or a hostile crowd has to be
Yeah.
something, doesn't it? It has to be a factor that you have to consider.
That'll be the next thing. So I want to get some speakers.
Guys smoking and that.
Yeah,
you know,
a couple of lads
like
smoking
back
in the
day,
back. I wanna
right? Go on, lad.
A couple of dickheads getting kicked out for drinking too much. Now I want to get some speakers in and get some crowd music as well, so you can
Yeah.
get some crowd
Oh,
noise
wow.
because then that'll be
Wow.
another level, won't
Wow.
it? But that's going to take
Mate,
a little
you'd be
bit more
fucking busy.
thought. But we'll see.
That was the reason I did contact you to go there, because you've got
Yeah.
the perfect cage, you've got the perfect setup, and in the daytime it's quiet there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'd contact whoever is the fights like the fight. So I had Glover there, I had Jordan
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
different
yeah.
people. I'd ring them, and I would just meet them there. So it
Yeah.
was like a fight.
That's what I mean, yeah.
I'd be driving
Yeah.
to Stapes' gym. I didn't know this person really.
Yeah.
And I'd be going in. They'd bring their coach. I'd bring my coach,
Yeah.
and there'd be no one there, but it would be a real fight.
Yeah.
Like even now the way the UFC's doing it, there's no one there, and who knows when these
Yeah,
crowds
exactly,
are coming
yeah,
back.
yeah.
So it gives you the reality of, okay, I'm going there, don't know this guy, and he's going to try and knock me out. I'm going to try and knock him out. And that is so important, mate. It really is.
I mean, that's why personally I'm a big one for sparring late at night as well. I like lads to spar. I mean, not when they're out of camp and stuff, but like, say someone's I've got a fight coming up and they're going to do 3 or 4 hard spars in that fight camp. I like them to do them late at night, same time as they're going to fight. I want to try and make everything replicate fight night as close as possible.
Tailor the training to that as well? Or
Yeah,
still
yeah,
training
yeah.
early doors?
Well,
right
I
from
mean,
there?
at the moment, all my guys that are fighting are all training at 8:30 at night. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're all doing 2-a-days, aren't they? So they're
Yeah,
training
of
in the
course,
day as
yeah.
well. But like the graft sessions is 8:30 at night.
Really? The harder one?
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
usually the
yeah.
other way around, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It's good that you've changed that, because it's
Well,
more realistic.
I
isn't
think
it?
there's something in that, mate.
I do, honestly.
You take it to football, you see a lot of the like Spanish teams, they're really effective in European football because they always kick off at the same time. Whereas in English football, you can go from fucking 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And I don't think it's good for all the systems of your body, the natural ebb and flow of
course,
your, is it the circadian rhythm? Changes
Jeez,
because
you're
of all
getting
the
a
rest of all that
I might
sort
have
of
to
stuff.
shoot off any more of that scientific stuff. But
In MMA, we're talking 1%, mate.
that's what I'm saying.
A punch
That's
landing
what I'm
and not
saying.
landing is
That's
a 1%
exactly.
difference.
So if you spar in the mornings, let's say you spar every week in the morning at 9:30, your body, your mind is going to get accustomed to that being the time of day where you need to be at your most hyper switched on and all that.
great
innit?
point.
And then all of a sudden, fight night, the most important night of your fight camp, you're going to say, "Oh, forget all that shit we've done for the last 12 weeks and let's spar."
Yeah, and then you wonder why your timing's not
Yeah,
right.
exactly. So I mean, I'm just a big believer in making everything as realistic as possible.
What did you feel like when you fought in the States? Did they have you fighting at mad times?
What on
When you
Ultimate
went-
Fighter or?
No, well, in general. Have you ever fought
Um,
at a mad time?
I mean, the Ultimate Fighter was great. I think that was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon or something like that.
Was it? How did
Yeah.
that feel? How did you feel fighting at a different time, like in your body clock and that?
On
did
that,
you notice?
no, on that it didn't matter because I mean we use on the Ultimate Fighter
Yeah,
as well.
same,
don't you?
yeah.
So you're training at them times anyway, aren't
Yeah,
you?
yeah. So you got used to it.
So you got used to it. Do you know what I mean? And it's the same thing.
Oh
Because-
innit?
shit,
It's
I've
like-
just realised you've both been on
Yeah, we
Team UK,
both
haven't you?
are.
yeah.
Oh
Team
yeah,
UK,
shit.
Team
Go
UK.
on, lad. Fuck off. Two completely different
Do you know what I mean?
generations as well, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was a good few years after.
Yeah.
But the reason I say that is because one time when I fought in Australia, they did it for the TV and finger, and it was 7 a.m. You had to fight, yeah. Listen,
Oh, the fight's alive.
you had to be at the thing for 5:30. Yeah, and I'm
I
not.
don't-
Listen,
Mate, my
mate,
body's not
This is
waking up
why
at
I've
that
asked you
time.
because when I say different,
Australia, though,
Mate.
is that... I can't work out what the
because it
fuck
was for American time, American pay-per-view.
Right.
The one thing that was
thought
good, the
that
show
was in
was done
English,
by
mate.
1 o'clock in the afternoon and we're all out.
Yeah.
That was good. It was
Yeah,
sunny
yeah,
and that.
yeah.
But like fighting at that time, mate, it was like, right, usually I like a good sleep, don't we all?
Yeah,
Right
yeah,
before
yeah.
a fight.
Yeah.
But you sat there and you're like, I'm up in 5 hours. Fuck. And you're like,
night before a fight is the best night's sleep I ever
it
had.
has to be.
Because it's the only night when I know I've got nothing to do the next day about the fight. Because every other day I've got, my kids, my gym, this, my that, and I wake up like, I've got to do this and that. When it's fight night, it's like, I've got nothing to do but fight tomorrow.
How do you get on with them sleeps the night before? Good every time?
Yeah, mate, the night before a fight is my best sleep ever.
Do you never have the ones where you're up late thinking about the fight?
No.
You
Honestly,
never?
I don't. No.
Just
I mean,
bang straight
years
out.
ago I did.
Yeah,
years
yeah,
ago, but
nice.
not now because
Yeah.
I've got a lot of responsibilities, man, outside fighting. But
Fighting's just a small part now, isn't it?
But on fight night, I've only got that one responsibility,
Yeah.
so I can sleep like a baby.
How good is it though after the weight cut and you have your first bit of
That's
carbs?
what I mean, yeah.
Oh,
And you're in a
mate.
good mood.
You have your first bit of
carb
carbs,
up.
you go for your little carb nap, and then you back up, and then you just carbing, and you're like, oh God, this is great. And then the night time comes, that's when it's like that for me, because after the weigh-in, I'll be buzzing my head off with the mates and that, tomorrow.
And it goes fast, doesn't it?
And then you get to the night time, you're thinking, oh, it's time to sleep now. But
Yeah.
I'm still using that buzzing from making weight and being with everyone. You have to switch off knowing you're going to have a top day tomorrow. That's the hard bit,
Because I think that is, and that's a good point you make up there, is like, you weigh in, and then you want to enjoy that day, the rest of that day, because you've been starving all weekend, you've been in the sauna, you want to enjoy that day. Sometimes you can forget that you've still got a task to do, haven't you?
It's so true,
Do you know what I
mate.
mean? You can forget it.
completely forget. Sometimes you don't even want to do it. You think, I'm having that much fun, mate. Fuck tomorrow.
You need to stop fucking fighting in Vegas.
You've made weight. It's like your birthday, isn't it? Yes, I'm all night long.
That is the real battle, though, isn't it? Let's have it right.
Yeah, yeah.
The
Well,
fights
that's-
are buzz.
Yeah.
The battle for the weight cut. Tell me about 66. How was it?
I'll never even try it again. This is the thing that I always say to people, because me and you probably about the same size,
I
aren't
know.
we? But like, you perform better at 66, don't
Yeah.
you? I perform way better at. I can't even walk at 66, but we're about the same height, about the same build,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, similar in things. But
It's true.
I just think different people have got like a natural weight that's going to be
I
perfect.
agree.
So like, you know, when you see people comparing themselves, oh, this guy cuts this much weight, I need to do that.
It's true.
It don't always work like that. I mean,
It's
look
true.
at Gunnar Nelson. He cuts what, 3 kilos or
know.
something.
We had Mohammed on last week. He don't cut at all. Doesn't do any water.
A little more.
Yeah.
Does he not?
Just had his pro debut, 23
Yeah.
and all. I think.
I think you're better fresh.
Yeah, look, I mean,
But
That's the
are you
payoff,
though,
isn't it?
Stapes? Look at the size of some of these guys, mate.
that's what I think it's individual. So,
That's why
some
we said we
people
need to do it.
that.
You might be up for this as well, bit of testing. I think we should get him and we should do a weight cut and then we should have him perform a lot of tests the next day,
Pull-ups, hit
like
him,
24
yeah.
hours later, like you would in a fight.
Yeah.
What's his 1 rep max on stuff?
Yeah.
What's a bleep test result? What's this, that, and the other? What's his resting heart rate look like? And then give him like 4 week off to train and recover and all that lot. And then do him again where he
cut.
doesn't cut.
Yeah.
And repeat the test and see what the difference is, and then people can make informed decisions.
Yeah.
Go, actually, am I better at this way or that way?
I think the only thing you'd have to make sure with doing that is all the other variables would have to be exactly the same. Your diet would have to be exactly the same. The training would have to be the sleep would have to be the same.
It
the
would be
water
hard to.
intake.
It'd be hard to. So I'll tell you why. A massive example was Tony Ferguson cutting all that weight 3 weeks
Yes,
before.
yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah,
like
yeah.
it massively hampered his. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, he says it
He's
didn't.
a
but
massive
it
guy,
did. Yeah,
and he's cutting what, 8 key, 9 key
Yeah.
for the sake of nothing,
yeah.
and then fights 3 weeks later.
And Justin Gaethje was like that when he was like, "Are you gonna make weight?" And he was like, "No." Would you?
Why?
Nah.
Why? We all go, he's a savage, but is he though? It's silly. It's Tony for doing it.
He's a savage, all right, but I don't think he's a smart savage. You know what I mean?
This is where your coach needs to be like,
For that, I mean,
Come
no
on,
disrespect, like he's an animal, but
He's a- yeah,
I
he's-
wouldn't be doing that, and I wouldn't be advising anyone else to do it. It's not good for your body
Did
anyway.
it in
is
his
it?
own house on his own, mate.
But then again, that's part of what makes him who he is, isn't it?
True,
That he's
true.
a fucking lunatic.
the mentality on him's outrageous.
But I think it affected it, mate.
Totally, and that's why I want, maybe not you, maybe someone else, maybe someone that wants
Yeah,
to
get
volunteer.
someone else that wants
Yeah.
to cut weight for a bus because it's not me.
But it's finding out.
I don't care, mate. Someone else
Because
can test it.
If you do
You
it
Steve
and you
right
say,
there,
yeah,
but,
you're
the
doing
variables, fuck that, basically.
I was just throwing in that in there
well,
so
if
we
it's
didn't ask me to do
50-50,
it.
if it's similar, you go, okay, I'm not diminished. Yeah.
You will be diminished, mate.
Okay, but if
definitely.
it's similar, you go, I'm not diminished, I'll cut weight.
Yeah, yeah.
But if it's like a 40% drop off, you go, what the fuck am I
Yeah,
doing?
I know what you're saying,
There's a good
yeah.
chance it will be.
Exactly.
I mean, for study purposes, it'd be mint.
Yeah, it would.
But I, as a pro fighter, I wouldn't be the test crash dummy. Do you know
I
what
don't
I mean?
think you
Crash
can
test dummy,
understand how
whatever you call
horrific
it.
weight cuts are.
I've done one, you dickhead.
Yeah, you thought. I forgot. I keep forgetting that. I could talk about this one fight every week. Tell us again, Stephen. How was it?
Not bad. No, you said, I know what a weight cut.
You're getting ready for your second, though.
Fucking minging. No, we're not doing that.
13 years later, he was getting ready for his second.
What was that when he was when you fought?
No, how long
13?
ago was it gone?
2010.
20, so 10 years ago?
Yeah, 10 years ago.
Years ago.
What show was that?
what was it called?
Oh, was it Hyde, wasn't it? When they had the multiple cages back in the day. I don't know if you remember it. Takedown.
No,
Do you ever remember it?
No.
It was a good concept. So they had, was it Trials and Copley Leisure Centre, and they'd get 4, basically IMAF.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 cages going at once with loads of amateurs and just in and out like that. Basically IMAF now.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what he did. And that's where we met.
Nowhere near as regulated. No, it was way before that.
Yeah, but
we were training way before that.
Yeah, but we trained up to that, and then you had the fight, and then disappeared for 10 years and made a podcast.
That's how amateur MMA might have to go for a while now. You know,
think?
Depends on when we're allowed crowds and stuff like that. We might just have to do it at gyms.
What do you think of no crowd and crowd? Have you ever done no? You've done no crowd.
I've done no crowd.
So go on, tell me the
twice on
difference.
the
What you
fight,
think?
yeah.
Interesting.
I think it depends on the person, doesn't it? Some people thrive
Buzz
on
off
the crowd.
the crowd, yeah.
You know, others are all right to be in that little zone. Watching it from like a fan's perspective or a coach's perspective or a fighter's perspective, I love it with no crowd.
I do.
Because I can hear every word the
Fighters
corner's
prefer it,
saying,
don't they?
and you can hear the crack of them punches coming. You know, you can break it down a little bit.
Yeah,
I love it with no crowd. Mate, if they stuck to no crowd, I'd be happy to watch.
Same.
You know,
and
I
it's
really
mad.
would.
Like 2 guys that are pretty
It's broke me.
experienced in it saying
Really?
that.
You don't like it?
No, I need the crowd. Like, it's annoyed me watching
Has it?
UFC.
See, I always say I'm a bit of a like MMA snob because I like to listen to what.
Me too.
I like it
Listen,
broken down for
when
me.
Gaethje fought Ferguson, mate, did you hear his punches?
Yeah,
You wouldn't have heard them.
And that's what I mean. I want to hear all the
The
intricacies.
levels of them shots hitting only made sense with no crowd.
I've watched IMAF in person, and I enjoyed that. And I don't know if maybe it's the disconnect that watching on TV I need a crowd, but watching in person I'm fine because I'm fucking drawn in
has
with
a
it.
small crowd, right, but it's pretty.
No, it's just
silent,
production crew and judges, really.
Yeah.
On finals day, they in the stadiums they've usually let, I don't know, maybe 100 or 200 people have sort of come in and watched.
Quiet.
But it's there's not really much going on unless the ones in Bahrain. There's a Bahraini fighter and it'd be quite loud.
Yeah.
But outside of that,
I mean, you can't
it's not really a lot.
get out the way of the buzz of entering the fight with a crowd.
That's the thing, yeah. And that's part of being a
Do you get what I mean?
Because everyone's a gym fighter, aren't they? We all know them
you know what
guys
I mean?
who are like,
Yeah.
they've got that reputation for being the best guy in the gym, and everyone's like, oh, he's sick, that guy. And then you
True.
watch him in a cage and he can't fight.
It's true. It's true.
You know,
I've
save
seen
his
loads
life
of them,
as soon
mate.
as the crowd's in front.
Absolutely loads.
Because that's
There's
part
loads.
of what being like an athlete, a
I
fighter,
agree,
a
I
martial
agree.
art. That
Good
is
point.
part of it, innit? Being able to perform
Under
in the
the
crowd,
lights,
under the lights,
pressure.
under the pressure.
It
So
is.
it's catch-22, innit? Like,
I think a lot of titles are going to change hands, like with the dynamics of what's changed now, and people thrive on crowds. Energy comes from the crowd.
That's it.
Kicks you up
Yeah,
the
it
ass.
does. It does.
And without that, you can hear a pin drop.
Yeah. Which again, I like
I do.
from a viewer's
yeah,
perspective.
I do.
But I like from a like the fighter within me is like, no, you've got to be able to do it in front of 2,000 people before you can call yourself a fighter. Do you
Well, the
know
maddest
what I mean?
one, when it was me and Norman, because we were on the same team, everyone agreed to not say anything. Coaches and
What was that on the?
Yeah. So imagine nobody said a single word.
Nothing from the corners, nothing.
Seriously,
Not even
nobody.
Yeah, because we're in the same team.
So So you didn't have a corner?
So we had to give water and finger, but nobody gave instructions. They agreed. They were like, "Look, you both are our team." None of our none of their team. Everyone agreed to be totally silent.
Just worked it out.
And it was like this. Imagine.
Okay, people coughing.
Can you imagine what it was like, mate?
That's
it
pretty
was
brutal,
like,
that.
because even in spars, you hear people in the gym knocking around.
Well, that's why you
outside.
spar, innit? So it's not just to like do the fighting bit. It's the practicing and listening to your corner and applying what they're doing and all
imagine
that.
hearing nothing.
Yeah, it's pretty hardcore.
It was mad.
That's like an old hardcore sparring session where you ring one of the lads at like 10 at night.
Yeah,
saying,
yeah.
"Do you fancy doing some rounds?"
Yeah, basically,
Yeah.
Basically. But when I watched the Notorious documentary, I seen when he used to do that. And he used to ring Quealy and that. Then
Yeah,
like,
right,
come on,
yeah,
let's go in the back
It's just
door.
them two.
And just lever each other.
At least they had a cameraman.
I know. They actually did. They must have had one, obviously. But that's what it reminded me of. They used to just go, he goes, I can't even afford a fucking head guard. And one of them had to share the head guard and all that. And I just thought, mate, where this sport has come from to where it is now.
Yeah.
You'd never see world-class athletes doing that now, would you?
No.
Alejandro's got a question. Get your questions in, and we'll ask the lads.
Go on.
How do you schedule eating into the fight day?
Oh, that's always sporadic as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Do you have treats?
on fight day, I try not to
What
on
about the
fight
night
day,
before?
and I use the word try. It's
so
pretty hard, you
No,
know what I mean?
It's the
Of course
most...
it is.
It's one of them,
What
innit?
time's Nando's? 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, innit?
You try and be as professional as you can, don't you, on it? But you've got to give yourself a little bit of leeway as well, haven't you?
How much leeway?
A little bit. Like I'll stay away from coffee. Yeah, like normally.
I don't have coffee either on fight day. Interesting you say that.
Yeah, I'll stay away from it.
I'll have it every day of the camp for some reason.
Yeah, I'm the same.
On a fight day, I think I don't want to crash.
Exactly.
You get the coffee crash.
Because, well, why do you have coffee?
Pre-fight though?
I don't know.
Nah, I've never have.
You not heard what Chael Sonnen says about it?
Go on.
He's worked out that one of the the Venti, the big fuckers, is the exact amount of caffeine that you're allowed, because you can fail a drug test for caffeine. Because caffeine's still regulated, and and most people, if you take like Pro Plus, like a fucking sheet of Pro Plus, you might fucking go over it. You don't do a sheet?
Yeah, can you imagine?
Hey, here's one. I'm gonna have to call Jay Irving out on this. Sorry, mate.
Go on.
Which camera am I looking at?
Do the middle one.
Sorry, Jay. So Jay failed his medical for a fight once because we were like, and they were like, his heart rate's through the roof. You can't fight. I'm like, fucking hell. Pulled him like, Jay, you had any coffees? Like, he's like, yeah, I had one coffee. I'm like, all right, nice one. So he's had one coffee. Like, gone back to see him. Like, sure, you just had one or two. Like, one or two. Probably 3 or 4 double espressos. Like, all right.
Oh my God,
like,
what was his heart rate?
And then he goes, and a couple of ginsengs. Like, all right. Mate, it turned out he'd had like the world's allocation of caffeine. But I think they let him fight in the end. But it was like for a few hours.
That's not a good thing, is it? That's not a good thing.
He lives on it though. Like some people live on it, don't they? Caffeine affects me. Like so, I love coffee.
Same.
But the reason I drink coffee is to get over the crash. Because when you start crashing, you have another one. But you don't want that on fight day, do you? Do you know? That's why I stay away from it.
There's a real come down. There's a real feeling, mate.
Surely you need one on fight day, though.
You don't.
But anyway, Chael says
you're buzzing your head off.
Venti, he has that as he enters the arena. So usually like 2.5 hours before the fight, and he's fine through the fight, and that does him. But he says he's worked out that's the most amount of milligrams of caffeine that he's allowed. He goes, if I have one energy drink or one sports drink or one something else, it would technically put me over. And no one really ever gets popped for too much caffeine.
I don't even know.
But legally, there's a limit on the caffeine that you can have.
Every day's a school day. I just learned something there. Pro fighter for 12 years. I should have known that.
So after
all sorts
after the gym now,
tough
and BAMMA champion and this and loads of shit. What's the plan?
What's the plan, mate?
What are you thinking?
We'll see what happens with this COVID, innit? You know, obviously I had the fight.
Who's you going to fight again? Remind me.
I had the fight in Manchester.
Thingy on it, Adam
Ventry on March, and obviously Adam Ventry injured his shoulder. So I got my new opponent came in. I forgot his name now. Apologies, no disrespect, like. But he pulled out on the day of the fight.
Oh, you're joking?
Yeah,
weighed in a lot.
I mean, you don't expect that on cage. I know, he had conjunctivitis, but and look, I don't want to talk shit about the guy, but
I'm gonna.
Well, look, if it's fight day and I've got a broken leg, there's no way I'm going seeing the medic and telling him I've got a broken leg. I'm just strapping it up and ignoring it. Do you get what I'm saying? And he specifically went and found the medic and said, "Oh, I've got something wrong with my eye."
And where did they get him from? Was he out of town? Or?
No, he was a French guy. Good fighter, real good. I was excited to fight him.
He took it on a day's notice.
No, he took it on about 4 weeks' notice.
Oh, okay, so he's.
But then on the day of the fight, and you know, he did legit have conjunctivitis, so I'm not thinking him. But I'm just saying, from my perspective, I've every fight I've ever had, and I'm sure you're the same. I've walked into it with some form of injury.
No one's 100%, mate.
You know, I've fought with torn meniscuses. You know, and had injections in my knee to kill the pain and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was the plan for March. That never happened. And that didn't come off, so I wanted to get back in there as soon as possible. And then COVID's it, and it's obviously
fucked you as well.
It's fucked everyone financially, hasn't it? So
fucked everyone up the arse, mate.
I mean,
time.
Pro Bellum have been asking me to do the October show, which I'm keen. I want to do, but I've got to get the gym financially stable first, because obviously I've got staff that rely on a wage from the gym and that. So I think if I don't end up doing the Pro Bellum show, I'll probably end up doing Cage Warriors towards the end of the year, because they're on a bet in Manchester again in December. But my priority has to be the gym at the moment, because you know I've got kids to feed and I've got staff to pay and stuff like that. So I've got to get that back. You know,
how does your MMA training look now from when it used to? You used to be SBG every morning. And all that. Is you still doing that, or?
Yeah. So I mean,
go back further. How did you cope with using the forces?
Right. Well,
with what training?
Here's the thing, why I never have any sympathy when like fighters tell me, "Oh, I can't do this. I'm too tired for that. Or, I've got no time for this and that." Because you know what it's like in the military. I'd be up at 6 a.m. to go and hit the bags on my own, and then I'd be working, doing mad shit all day till 5 o'clock at night. And then I'd drive 2 hours to Bristol to train with Paul Reed and them lads. and then I'd get back for like 1 in the morning, go to bed and do it again.
That's what fucked me up. I was playing.
Do you get what I mean?
I was
And then-
playing rugby. I was playing
Yeah.
academy level rugby. I was
Yeah,
playing
yeah,
for
yeah.
Doncaster, and I'd do a full day. And I was working in the gym at the time, so I'm taking fucking 6 sessions, assault
And
course
that's-
and tabs
yeah,
and
yeah,
all
yeah,
that
exactly.
lot. And then I'd finish, I'd throw some shit scran down my neck, I'd get on the motorway, I'd sit in traffic all the way to Doncaster,
yeah.
I'd get twatted for about 2 hours,
Yeah.
and I'd get home at like 11 o'clock at night, and you just shagged for the next day.
That's why I have no sympathy with people. I ain't got time for this or that. You have got time. You ain't got time management. That's
Yeah,
the different
yeah.
things. You know
Well, you
what I
don't
mean?
want it enough.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want
Everyone's
it.
got time.
Yeah, yeah.
You just ain't got time management.
People
on
say
them.
to me all the time, you train too much. And I think, it's my full-time job.
Well, I always watch you train, and
Yeah.
I like try and follow as much of your training
Yeah.
as I can.
Yeah.
And you always look fresh. Like when I see you training, I always think, "Fuck me, this guy trains all the time." But you always look fresh. So you always look like you're training hard, but you never. You must have like you must know your body pretty well.
100%.
Because you've adapted to this level.
Well,
Like,
I just
you've been
think-
doing
I
it
just
that
think,
long.
mate,
That's his.
You know what you just
Yeah.
said there? It just hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
You'll be up at this time doing that. I don't have to do that.
Yeah,
So
right,
for
yeah.
me, my body's adapted to this life now.
Yes.
And I found a good organisation that's going to pay me enough where I don't have to think about
Yes,
that,
yeah.
which is good. I've got good sponsors.
Yeah.
And it's nice, it's refreshing. So when I hear these lazy fighters saying I ain't got time and this and that, and they have it as a full-time job,
Yeah, if you're a professional,
Mate, I think-
being a pro fighter and being a professional are two separate things.
Mate.
Everyone's a pro fighter because they fought 5 cans on
Yeah,
some
exactly.
show that the mate runs, and they
Exactly.
brought some dummies in for him to beat. It doesn't make him a professional.
I agree,
fucking
mate.
get what I mean?
Mokaev was a professional a year ago, wasn't
Yeah, no,
he? Before
but
he
he's,
ever fucking made his pro debut.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Mokaev.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I mean,
What a
he
professional
was a
kid.
professional.
Yeah.
He's been a
Mate,
professional for ages.
I don't want to bang on about my guys, but I will.
Come on, get
No,
it
but
out
no,
there.
my guys.
Tell about Jamie,
Yeah,
the
mate,
little legend.
what a professional.
What about when my main guy fought his main guy?
Mate, we were talking about that the other day, me and
Oh.
Jamie,
What, when you
because
were all
we were
pals?
looking for a sparring partner for Jamie
Yeah,
this
yeah.
week, and
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, what was he called
What's
again?
Jack Salt doing?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
like, and Jamie was like, bro, he's this big now.
Do you know what it was?
I still thought he was like,
At the show Tanko, and then he has got a really, really talented kid coming up. Jamie
Kelly.
Kelly,
Yeah,
that's it.
he's an animal.
He's an animal, he is. But my guy was an animal too.
Yeah.
Little Jack Salty.
And
I
they were
trained
both
from young.
What were they both about? 17 at the time. Or something?
17, big show as well.
Yeah,
you
big
know,
show,
And
yeah.
they were like, right. And his name come across.
Yeah.
And I went, I said,
Yeah.
you know what, Jack, mate? He's tasty, this kid. I'm not going to lie to you. He's good. I said, you course I'm up for it. Do you know what I mean? And I went,
Yeah.
right. He's up for it. I'm up for it. Let's
Yeah.
go. And I'm sure you felt the same.
Pretty much the exact same conversation. It was like, this will be a tough one. But Jamie's like, Jamie thrive. You know, some fighters, when you show them a fight and it's an hard fight and they're a bit like, yeah, Jamie's
He does that one,
Jamie's
doesn't
like, she's like, yeah, he's good. And he'll watch the guy and he'll be like, oh, that guy, I can't wait to fight him.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And what a fight it was, mate. What a fight it
Great
was.
fight,
They
yeah.
went to
Yeah.
war, mate.
It ended up a decision, that didn't it?
It
Went
did,
to a
yeah.
decision,
Yeah.
3, and it should have, you know.
Two young kids, mate,
Yeah.
who left it all on the line. It was great to see. And even when his guy would get the better from it, my guy would get the better
Yeah.
from his guy. And we're just both looking at each other like, glad I'm not in with these two at the same. Do you know what I mean?
One of them fights where it finishes and you're exhausted from corners. Like, oh, glad that's over.
And mate, I was so proud of him, even in a loss.
Yeah.
I was so proud of him, mate. I went, you know what? You had to dig deep. That kid's
Yes.
mustard.
Yeah,
And
That's the thing, that sometimes you go up against someone who's quality and lose.
yeah.
It's better than just fucking crushing a can.
Come on, mate.
Because
What
what's
they
the
both
fucking-
gained out of that is
Exactly,
invaluable.
mate. Exactly.
Compared to running in and throwing over the postman and then running around Facebook telling everyone about it.
Fucking
Yeah,
Malek
yeah.
something or
Totally
other from
different.
Independent Gym.
Yeah. Oh, there's loads of them independents. Pull them off the bus stop on the way. Jump in there.
And do you know? And even that does happen sometimes. Where,
What do you
where it
mean?
has to. No, I mean like you
Oh,
know,
fucking
you
hell,
get
that's everywhere.
a last minute pull out though, and you've got to take an independent
Yeah.
fighter, and you're like, it's crap.
as soon as you hear independent
Yeah.
fighter, you go.
It does happen though now and again
Yeah.
where it's a legit reason, but
I
Do you think
fought
it
them.
was
I can't
one
of
say
those-
it. We've all
She
had to do it.
That
Last
indi-
minute.
that
I don't
independent
think I have
gym's
actually.
massive,
I
isn't
don't
it?
think
I
I've
don't,
ever had one. Yeah.
Fucking
Oh
unlucky,
no,
mate, I'm telling you.
I've done all right.
Mrs. Ghost was once was at a show and she's like, that independent gym must be massive. I was like,
Fighters all over the world.
never mind.
The maddest one I ever seen, right, and this is a true story. I can't put no names in this because it was that bad, yeah?
If I get the name right, will you say yeah?
You'll know exactly what it
Or
is
will you
anyway.
say?
So,
This
This
is Blitz
kid
on
had
the
a
Ritz.
fight.
Definitely Blitz on the Ritz.
this kid had a fight, right? He's lost, got levered, he's a can. He's come in the back to get his paycheck. This is a true story. He's gone to get his paycheck. The promoter at the time's gone, nah, mate, he said, someone else needs an opponent now. And he's gone,
Oh yeah.
He's like, "No, what do you mean?" He went, "Look, and your music's playing now. Walk out." The time playing his music as he's talking to you. He went, "Go on, mate. Do you want this check or not? Go on, your music's playing." He went out and got knocked out again, mate. And I think it was about 250 quid, if that.
Was this at the Ritz in Manchester?
I'm not saying any names, mate. I'm sure that'll end up in the court of law one day. That
defo sounds like it was.
I've seen some mad things, mate. I've seen Sean Lomas fighting 3 times a week, 4 times a week, MMA.
But do you know what? With Sean Lomas, mate,
he's no mug him.
You can never underestimate. He'll fight every weekend, but he goes to win every weekend. He's like Sean Lomas is what people would class as a journeyman, I say.
A very dangerous
one.
one.
But he's what a journeyman should be, as in like
a big test.
He just travels to fight.
Yeah.
Whereas nowadays, a lot of the journeymen...
They'll just hit and roll.
Yeah, they're not really journeymen, they're just cans.
Yeah.
But Sean Lomas is a real journeyman in the fact that he travels and he'll fight... I have got a gum shield, I'll travel. He'll turn up, fight anyone. But you, mate... If
have a fight.
He's going to win. If you're not switched on, he'll beat you.
I've seen him fight heavyweight.
Have you not fought him?
No, I've not.
I'm surprised one of us have fought Sean Lomas, mate. Everyone has fought Sean. He did the blitz at the Ritz, mate. He fought everyone down the roster like that.
Yeah, I've seen him fight.
On the same night?
Heavyweight, light heavyweight, middleweight, welterweight.
He's an animal.
Fought Andy Devant twice, I think, or 3 times. He fought Ali Ariz 3 times.
I spoke to him once and he was like...
Mate,
but do you know what? He'll get through the rounds with them as well.
Decision, both of them.
He's good, Sean Lomas.
He's not a joke. Is he still at it? Surely not.
Please. I don't know if he's still fighting. I think he's coaching a bit now.
I know his record's getting doctored to death.
Yeah.
Because I've seen him with like 200 fights on a record, and I've seen him with 80 fights on his record, like within a month each other. And I'm like,
I don't think Sean will know
how do you think that is for the brain, mate?
Not good.
No, it can't be good for taking all them shots.
He's definitely at least once or twice a weekend.
He was doing boxing, Muay Thai, and MMA in the same weekend because they're all different governing bodies.
Hey, but I'll tell you what, he'll have some books, all right, won't he?
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? I bet he's got some stories.
Be fucking
you should get him on here. He'll tell you some stories.
I don't think he can talk anymore, can he?
No. No, that's not being thingy.
That's not
I
even
spoke to
like,
him on the phone and he's not.
And that's not even saying it. That's like, he needs to stop fighting, mate, to be honest. And like,
I mean, I don't know him like that, but that's not nice to hear.
I've been 200. He's got to have at least 200, 300.
Well, I only seen his MMA record. What's his Muay Thai and boxing
including
records
everything.
And Sean, deep down, mate, is a great guy.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Is. When you meet him and you talk to him,
he's
and I think,
really nice guy. Yeah,
stop it now.
Just fucking likes fighting.
Yeah.
You fight when you guard him for a $5.
Is that fair then? Is that a point? Is that you should have your own life and you should just live it how you want, or should someone step in and go?
It's both, in it. Someone should probably have a word with him.
But
I think the promoters should have some sort of responsibility
because he's coming to fight
for
nothing.
Yeah, fight when you guard him for a $5.
And the promoters, a lot of the time, are just there for a few quid, aren't they?
No, mate, it's hard.
Not all the time. You know, there is good ones.
Yeah, there is. Name one.
Princey's a good promoter. Yeah, he's got your back on that one, Princey.
He's not
Princey's
bad.
legit,
but they are promoters. It's hard because the thing is, they've got to match a fight. They've got a great fighter here. You've got to get a fight in. Last minute, he really needs a fight. He's made you 10 grand on tickets, and you're like, mate, you're gonna have to do this. You know,
have to just walk down the street to Independent Gym. It's massive. Loads of people in there.
Independent Gym's got everyone. Innit? So I think Sean's actually got a gym, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Is he from Sheffield or somewhere?
Stockport.
Yeah.
Is he Stockport?
Yeah.
Legend, mate. Listen, shout out to Sean Lomas. You know why?
Yeah, 100%.
Because you're a legend, mate. You've got
that's
one bit of
his
fear
fight
in your
nickname.
body.
Is Sean the Legend Lomas?
Yeah, that's his name.
And he's one of the
mate,
few
you
that
could
fits.
ring him tomorrow and say heavyweight tomorrow, and he would fight anyone. He don't even. Do you think he looks at who it is?
You could ring him
I don't
tonight.
even think he needs to, does he? He's not bothered. He's just going to turn up and do the same thing anyway. He just turns up and tries to win, doesn't he?
Mate, he's fought Jimmy Manuwa.
Jimmy Warlord. Paul Daly.
Yeah.
Wow. Here's a question for you, actually. I have this debate online all the time. Who is the greatest UK mixed martial artist of all time?
It's an hard question, that, because how can you go against Bisping if you're going to...
Give me your top three then.
Bisping's in there. Paul Daly's in there for sure. If you look at Paul Daly's career, he has been doing the same thing to people, flatlining them.
He just gets
for
so...
about 60 fights deep as well now.
Yeah. Flatlining.
And at the top level as well. And people, you know, when he got in the UFC...
Flatlining.
He should still have been in the UFC because a lot of people have done a lot worse than he did and stayed in there.
I know.
And he's been flatlining people fully unconscious with the same shot.
Yeah. Is there a better left hand?
They know it's coming.
There's no better left hand.
Get out of the way of that. And otherwise, Paul's another one who comes up to the gym now and again to get sparring.
Yeah, he does. I've been there.
What, mate?
What a legend. What a nice fella.
If you watch Paul in the cage, he's like the most violent guy ever. When he's out of the cage, he's the most humble, nicest man. proper martial artist out of the cage. He's top
He used to
guy.
come same time as me. He'd bring his coach. I'd bring mine. He'd do his hard rounds. He was doing him at the time. He was sparring him when I was there. And I mean, sick rounds.
Yeah.
And
You sparred with me for you two.
With Paul?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it nearly just short of 60 fights? Fucking
All right.
animal.
42.
Mate, yeah, that is a left hand.
No, wait. Hold on. Go back up to the top there a second. 33 TKOs.
That's mad.
79% knockout ratio.
It's the level he's done it as well. You know what I mean? He's not knocking bums out.
No, scroll down. Look at that.
Let's see.
Just look at the shows that he's on. Just zoom in for us there. So what are we on?
Eric Silva, Venom Page, which he won that
Bellator, BAMMA,
Brennan
Douglas Lima,
What's
Rory
that?
McDonald.
Legend Part 2. What the fuck is that? He lost on it anyway. CW, that's Cage
Douglas
Warriors. Dubai FC, that was short-lived. Bellator.
Nick Diaz. What a
Strike
fight that
Force.
was.
Tyrone Woodley, Nick
Yeah.
Diaz.
Do you remember
Look,
the
yeah, look at the date when he fought Nick Diaz. What
2011.
2011? Go his first fight. When was his first fight? Let's have a
10
look.
years
Go all the way down.
Masvidal.
Fuck off,
Beat
was
him.
Koscheck then? 2010
Koscheck.
Koscheck. I remember that.
Oh, look at this record, mate.
Dwayne Ludwig.
Josh Connolly, was that
Paul Jenkins.
Does that say
Remember Paul Jenkins?
2003?
Hands of Stone, Paul
Another
Jenkins.
legend. Another legend.
Click on Paul Jenkins. I'm pretty sure he's had over 100 MMA fights.
He lost to Pat Ely.
Yeah, there we are.
Oh shit,
That's
yeah.
the one.
41
and 47. So what's that?
Think about that, mate. Get Sean Lomas up, please.
SHAUNLO.
SHAUN Lomas.
Almost 100 fights.
Right.
Hands of Stone
Wonder what
Jenkins.
I guarantee this isn't real.
Here's
by
the
way.
legend.
There's no way that is real.
Nah, they don't put all his on. Nah.
Right, that's wrong because I've seen it with 88 on before.
Oh, look.
Go
come
on. When they last get a win? There you go.
coming up over
David
100
Round.
Fair play. Guillotine.
Yeah, he's fucking dangerous.
Let's
the thing
see where
is,
go down. Let's see how he's fought.
how good do you reckon he'd be with a camp? Because he's hard, isn't he? Let's be
he's
real.
hard, mate.
He's
And
hard.
he's skillful.
He is.
He's got.
Mark Glover.
I've seen him give some really good people like an hard workout.
Mate, he's no walking.
he's
the park,
definitely-
I'll tell
There's a
you
lot
now.
of decent names on that
hard.
record.
Lewis
Scroll down
Hamilton,
again.
great fighter.
Get down to about 2010-ish.
It'll take a while.
Yeah. Because there's some names on here, I'm sure.
Jack Mason, Ali Arish,
Valentino Petrescu.
Paul Gardner.
Jack Mason. Fucking hell, that must have been a
Jimmy
big
Moore,
weight. Ali Arish.
Claudio Enrique de Silva. Do you remember him? He was.
yeah.
Where was he? He's from
Still in the UFC now.
London.
Isn't
He's from London Shoe.
he? Yeah.
Petrescu on there again. Jimmy Manoa. Mate, went 4 minutes with Jimmy Manoa. Ali Arish again.
Tony Moran.
Lee Chadwick. Is that the butcher?
Yeah. Anyway, Sean Lomas, please
Right.
watch this.
Are they saying that's his first fight? Because that was not his first fight.
I think to myself, because when I'm in Thailand all the time and they're fighting every week, these Thais,
Yeah.
it takes a certain type of person, you know.
Is the guys that fight every week? Are they fighting proper or
They're
is
fighting, mate.
Are
They're
they?
having elbows and everything. Sanchez at least twice a month, isn't he?
Is it?
Still, at 40 years old.
See, I'm only 37. There's still
This
a
is
few
what I'm
years
saying.
left yet.
Do you know what I'm saying?
300 fights deep.
Yeah.
and no damage, really. Doesn't take damage. He's
And if you watch
How
him
the
training now,
fuck
he's
are
still
they
as
doing
fast
that?
as he was when he was
Loose.
in his 20s.
How the
Just
fuck are they
rapid.
doing it? There's not that many
I'm trying to
proper
work it out.
headshots in Thai, though, is there? There's elbows.
Oh, they could be, mate. Head kicks in
Yeah,
that.
them head kicks.
Yeah,
mate.
true. You
Jesus,
don't want to take many of
rapid.
them.
Like,
But that's a one and done, though. It's not like boxing
I know
where
what
you're
you
getting
mean, yeah, where you're getting
fucking
the club.
58 shots to
But
the
on
fucking
the
dome.
flip side as well, like I'm sure Brendan will say the same. Is Thai boxing is for me when you're training the individual arts, Thai boxing is one that hurts the most. Like
Yeah,
when you
cool.
finish a
You
Thai
clash
boxing
shins.
session, you're like, oh no, my elbows hurt, my shins hurt, my knees hurt.
Speaking of that, of all the ones you've done, what is the hardest martial art in your eyes?
In what respects?
If you said to someone, if someone said to you, what's the hardest one to do?
to learn or
Physically,
to do.
mentally.
I'd say physically and mentally MMA. I think
If you separate them, so
if you
between
separate 'em,
boxing,
right,
wrestling,
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai,
different
judo.
different for different
It's got
things.
to be wrestling.
I'm
above
going to say
everything. It's
wrestling
gotta
for
be.
like your conditioning, your heart, that mindset and all that. Wrestling's just a grind. It's horrible. But Thai boxing is the one that hits the most, innit?
No, it is. It
Like
is.
you can finish a grind of a wrestling session
And your body's
and
sweet.
still be, whew, all right, like your lungs are dead.
Yeah,
Everything.
Yeah,
You
not
don't-
bleeding.
Your soul's left your body.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
But you finish an hard Thai boxing session with a good.
I agree.
So I've got some really good Thai boxers at our gym now, like Paul Webb, who's a head Muay Thai coach. If you do a clinch round with him,
You know about
you're
it.
gonna know about it for days afterwards. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, my legs,
Them
and
knees
my
to the body.
shins, everything else. Do you know what I mean? It's
How do you think
It's a
your body
different
copes
thing.
now with training than when you was younger? How different does it feel now?
honestly, I don't.
You don't? You still feel as
I
good
don't
as
feel
21?
I don't feel like I've aged. I feel like I kind of got better at everything as I got. Like when I joined the Marines, I felt like I wasn't a good Marine till I'd been about 6 or 7 years in.
So,
Do you know what I mean? I felt like it was later in my career that I peaked, and I feel like that in the MMA. I still feel I feel like the last few years have been the best that I've ever trained and stuff. So
Calmest in the cage.
who knows?
What was your last one?
Might
Who
crash
was it?
all of a sudden.
Who was your last fight?
Manchester Fight Festival. It's like 18 months ago or something.
Is
now.
it? How's it feel to be out for so long?
Bad. That's why I wanted to get back
How
in
horrible
March.
is it, mate?
Yeah, crap.
How long was you out?
Well, I was only New Year's Eve, so I'm 8
No, I
months
mean,
now.
prior to that, it was a while, wasn't it?
I did 3 at the end of last year, and then before that, I had nearly a year off. It's demoralising, isn't it, mate? When this is all you do and this is all you want to do.
Well,
Yeah, I'm a fighter. Oh, when did you last fight? Oh,
Yeah,
exactly.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
I signed up for PFL because they said to me, I'll give you 5 fights in a year. And I went, wow. Such as 7 fights in just over a year.
Yeah.
Because I had the 2 before, and then I was supposed to have 5. And then they just pulled the rug and went, yeah, June next year, mate. I went, what? This ain't what I signed up for.
how did they do that?
Exactly. They just went,
They
COVID
cancelled
shit.
their
Oh,
seasons
because
in
of
June,
COVID.
innit?
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
They do the
But then
playoff season
instead
in
of starting
June.
again like everyone else, they've just gone, oh, we'll start next summer.
Yeah, we
and
booked
then
it in
start.
June. We'll keep it in
Wait.
June. So I'll see you next year.
Nice one.
Yeah, so that's ongoing at the minute.
cool.
I don't know how that's going to turn out.
How do you think that? Do you think PFL will continue, or do you think it'll be one
I hope so, mate. They're
Yeah,
a
I
great
do as well.
organisation. The best
for
one I
you
fought
more
for.
than anything? Because you're 3 fights away from $1 million.
No, I've got to start a fresh tournament now.
What?
Yeah, no, they were just prelim fights on the last one.
Yeah, but I thought
that wasn't
someone.
that wasn't part of the tournament, no.
I thought someone got pulled out of the tournament and you got put in.
No,
it.
I tried to get in it, but I didn't get in. But basically, what happened was, my manager said he's not going to sit on the shelf till the next tournament.
Yeah.
So they said, well, we've got 2 left on the current tournament. We can't enter that. It's too late. But we'll put him on the prelims to keep him active.
Right,
Which
okay,
was really
yeah,
good of
yeah.
them. They didn't need to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And they kept me active, and the shows were 8 weeks apart. Fight, 8 weeks, fought again. And then they said, right, your tournament's starting in May, and from May you're going to have 5 straight back-to-back, 2 in one night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, buzzing, that's what I signed up for. And then
Yeah.
when the rug got pulled, it changed the whole dynamics.
Yeah.
But they're a great organisation, and I hope they pull it together.
Is PFL? Is it what used to be
World Series of Fighting.
World Series? Yeah.
But they changed the whole concept, changed all the
Yeah.
owners.
Yeah.
And the thing that excites me is the 2 in one night, mate.
Yeah.
It's something new for us. You know, for us
Yeah.
who's done it for a while now.
Yeah.
You're looking for new things now, aren't you?
Exactly, mate.
And they went-
That's the thing for me as well. Like when this lockdown came and they were like, "Do you want to do a behind the closed doors fight and all that?" I was like, honestly, because Cage Warriors are doing the ones.
That's right.
they-
It's
One,
in the September.
one next month, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Cage Warriors are doing
Got 3 in one
3
weekend.
back to back,
Yeah.
and Pro Bellator as well.
Yeah.
And
Oh, they're doing
Yeah,
3?
I mean, I speak to Zorba. He's another good promoter. See,
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Not a bad guy. Yes, Zorba.
See, that's 3 good promoters I've
That's it.
mentioned.
There is
Cage
a few
Warriors,
good ones,
Princey,
all
Zorba. But yeah, so like I'm under no illusion. I'm 37. I'm not going to be fighting much longer. Do you know what I mean? So every fight I have, I want it to be worthwhile, mean something. So
course.
to fight behind closed doors for me right now was like, nah. I'll wait it out until something worthwhile comes. You know, something that motivates me.
Yeah. Did they give you an opponent or anything? Or
Nah, they just asked the
threw it out
question.
there.
Yeah, I mean, I know I've known Ian Dean 15 years or something now, so
Yeah.
Ian's he knows me well enough to
it's
say.
an open book.
Yeah, and he messaged me and he says, "Listen, I'm going to ask you out of respect. Do you want to do this?" But I presume I know your answer because he knows where I'm at. That I want stuff that's going to elevate me because
course.
you know I won a world title 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And for me, the only reason I'm going to continue fighting is if I can see a world title in the in the shots in the sights. You know what I mean?
Who's got the 55 title at Cage Warriors now?
Warren?
Oh,
not
that
Warren Mason
Jones.
Jones. Sorry, yeah, Mason, and he's fighting Proctor now for the
Yeah,
welterweight
that's
title.
interesting. What do you think of the weight difference here? It's big, isn't it?
I can't see anyone smaller than Proctor beating him. I've sparred Proctor.
Yeah.
And you know, sometimes you spar a guy who's like a welterweight or a middleweight and you can kind
You
of...
can still get your own way a
You can
bit.
out-technique him or outspeed him or whatever.
No chance.
Proctor's athleticism is off the charts. He's he's as fast as a lightweight. He's as powerful as a middleweight. His athleticism's off the charts.
Yeah, it's a full package.
He's technically... He's just brilliant technically. And him and Alex have got such a good relationship. It's like it reminds me of Trevor Whitman and Gaethje. You know, when Alex is cornering him, he's giving a call and Adam's executing it instantly.
Yeah.
added to the fact of his athleticism, and he's a massive welter. I just can't see any lightweight beating him. You know.
Yeah.
I think. It's Mason Jones. He's very fast and he's a excellent fighter as well. I think the first couple of rounds will be pretty tough.
Oh, is it 5?
It'll
Cage
be
Warriors
5.
do 5,
Cage Warriors
right.
will be 5-5, won't it?
Good.
I think going into the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I just can't see anyone any lightweight beating Proctor. You know, I think he'll just drag it out and then.
Well, then we come to the old saying again, like cut weight, don't cut weight. We're gonna see.
We're gonna see
a guy that doesn't really. Well, he does. I mean, he's 78, 77 kilo. He said the other day. I seen on Twitter.
Who?
The other fella, Mason.
He's
he's walking around on weight now.
He's
basically.
on weight, isn't he? Yeah.
So he's on weight, and you've got a guy who's gonna drop 10, 15 kilo. So let's see.
What? 10, 15
10
kilo?
That's about average, mate. Really, isn't it?
I don't think Proctor drops that much.
£25.
I'm not certain, but he stays in shape all year round.
Yeah.
He's not one of them guys who like gets way out of them balloons. And Enland's like a pretty strict coach in that way. He makes sure the lads are in shape all year round. So I don't think he's dropping that much, but he's still a massive welterweight. He's a huge welterweight, and he's technically one of the best I've trained with. So.
It's like, all right then, let's say you walk in against Khabib, who's probably about 86 kilo now, let's have it right.
Massive.
You walk in at 70 kilo, mate, walking round. Good luck.
Yeah. That's the problem,
This is the double-edged sword that you're in.
Yeah,
But do you want your reactions? I think you want your reactions.
But do you want
them
some
reactions
size?
are all right until you get him bounced around like a basketball.
True.
Yeah.
You know what I
So
mean?
he's dragging you through the dirt.
It's a double-edged sword.
It is, mate.
I don't think there's any one right
There's
answer.
not an answer for it.
No.
There's not necessarily an answer for Khabib, so
That's a good point.
that's a different fucking story altogether. I know what you mean.
The thing is, if they made weigh-ins more like same-day weigh-ins, so you just weighed and fought, everyone would have to fight at the natural
Everyone
weight.
will still do it.
No, yeah, I think they
They're
would.
daft,
I
aren't
think
they?
they do.
Everyone will
But
still
if
cut
everyone
weight.
still did it, then I think there'd be a problem because you
yeah,
couldn't
true.
cut weight and fight
True.
2 hours later. If
Yeah.
you cut 7 kilos or 8 kilos and then you went to do, I know people say, well, guys do it in wrestling matches and like
Wrestling,
it's not
I
the
know,
same.
get
It ain't
Punch
the
in
same.
and a napper adder.
When you're getting pinned down for 5 minutes and
What do you
elbowed,
think is the answer to weight cutting?
I don't. What you mean is in
Yeah, like-
from the weigh-in side of you?
Just like, it's not fun, is it, mate? And it's not healthy.
No, it's not healthy. We're probably going to find out in about 10 years when the first set of MMA fighters start getting 60, 70-year-old
Good
or
point.
whatever.
The
We're
liver
probably
falls
gonna
out
find
their arse.
You know, and we all start getting
How different was your 70 kilo cut to your 66?
very, very... Well, the thing is with the 66, like if I'm fighting at 70,
Yeah.
I know if I'm a month out, if I'm under 80 kilos, I'm going to be 70. I know if I'm a week out, if I'm under 78, I'm going to make it nice and easy. And I know if I'm walking around at 77, 78 kilos, I know that's when I'm at my strongest.
Yeah,
I'm
got it.
fat and everything's good. And I know I'll make weight and everything. When I tried to do 66 twice, I dieted down to like 73 kilos.
How'd you feel?
Mate, by the time when I was at 73 kilos, I just had nothing in my body. I
Dizzy,
looked great,
yeah.
and everyone's going, "You look great," and inside me, I'm feeling like, "No, in me, I've got no power, I've got no strength left."
yeah.
And I remember I went over to train in Iceland, Gunnies for a little bit, and one of the lads, Thor, like sparred Thor, and he's like a tweener. He's fought at 70 a bit, but he's too big for it. So when I was over there, I think he was fighting at 77, and I dropped down to 66. And me and him sparred 3-5s, and Andor like cornered me for him. At the end of him, he was like, "Mate, you look good there." And I said, "Mate, I felt like shit." I said, honestly, the weight difference. Like I had an underhook, and I'm trying to lift him off the fence, and I'm thinking, I can't move this guy. And I've sparred him in the past, and it's been a good spar. And even though from the outside people were saying you look good, inside I was thinking I've got nothing here. Like, and again, it's. Some people are better, a little bit lighter and all that. I'm not, you know.
Do you feel like your body gets faster as you get lighter though? How fast was you at 73?
I felt fast, but I didn't feel like I had anything in the shots.
Yeah, nothing
Do you
in
know
the
what I
tank,
mean?
really.
Yeah.
Did it affect your cardio?
No, my cardio felt good. I felt
Because you
like
had to run a lot.
yeah,
to get the weight
I
off.
was doing loads of cardio to get the weight down, and my cardio felt good. I had gas tank all day, but I just didn't have any explosion or any power, and that's a big part of my game.
Did you make
know,
the 66? You missed it, didn't you?
Yeah, I
By
missed
a lot?
it. No, I missed it by. In the end, I think it was by about
2 times or 1?
I missed it the first time.
Yeah.
The second time I did a catch weight, didn't I?
Oh, okay.
So the second time with the fight was actually at 68.
Perfect.
'Cause
That'd be a good weight for you, wouldn't it?
Nah, again, getting down to the 68, the extra 2 kg was too much. It was just way too much. I don't even know if it's the actual weight cut. It was
the
the
rehydration.
getting down to 73.
And staying there.
Yeah, staying at 73 for like 2 or 3 weeks. I was just dead, you know. It's too light for me.
I feel you, mate, honestly. When I get around that 74 mark, you don't even feel like a human anymore.
Yeah.
People are talking to you and you're not even hearing what they're saying.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
You got no concentration whatsoever. It's not good for you what you do, mate, at all.
I think I'd more likely go up rather than... I think...
Just fucking proving my point.
Yeah. Fair one. We should have shut the podcast off an hour ago.
You are, mate. All right, then. Still, walking on Khabib at 70 kilo, mate. You walk around at 70 kilo and go, yeah, Khabib, go on then.
But that's
He'll pick you up
what
with
I'm
his little
saying.
finger.
You've got to figure out what the sweet spot is of being diminished or having a good night's skip and feeling fresh. Because
That's a good point.
You know, we're going in and feeling, because the weight cut feels hangover, doesn't it? That's what it kind of feels like.
Not really.
Nothing. I find it like that.
No, I mean, I have had that, but I feel like that's due to like bad rehydration and stuff. I feel like now, my last few fights, by the time I've maybe 6 hours after weigh-ins,
Yeah,
I felt I'm brand new, fresh again.
It's true.
And wake up fresh.
It is about 6-7 hours after.
Yeah.
You're right. You couldn't fight that day, I don't
But
think.
you've got to do it the right way, haven't you?
Yeah,
It's about rehydrating correctly,
yeah.
putting the energy
all them
back
people
in
that you see
correctly.
with Lucasades and that straight after,
Yeah.
I just look at them and I think, good luck with that, mate.
Yeah.
I've done that before.
Yeah, I have as well,
Ate
yeah.
a load of shit. I got sick, just feeling horrible, mate. And you're just uneducated, weren't
Yeah,
you, back
exactly,
in the day? Just
yeah.
like, didn't know. This culture come from America, where
Yeah.
they know how to do it.
Exactly.
And we
then
just tried our own way.
Which was like, what?
people
Sauna,
watched it.
Yeah. Bin
Going
bag,
online.
Bin bag. There, bin bag. Sound.
Yeah.
Right, what else do we need?
Watched a few YouTube videos and thought we
Basically,
knew it all, didn't we? You know what I mean?
No one said, listen, mate, you have to slowly put food back in
Yeah.
because your body's about that big, your stomach's that big, so
Yes.
it's not nothing. And then you're like, what? Yeah, milkshakes and that. Yeah, mint,
And
feel good.
even
Next
though
thing,
me and
crash.
you
Ooh,
both
chicken
know that
nuggets.
now, and we've both been doing it for years.
Still
you
do it.
still want to do it, don't you?
Yeah,
So
you
much
do.
weighed in, you're thinking,
What is that feeling?
I'll be like that.
That's
I'll
your
have weighed
body
all my...
fucking craving everything, going,
Craving.
we're dying. Get us chicken nuggets or something.
I'll have weighed all my food out and that, and I'll be like, I'm gonna have this at this time, this at that time, you know, proper professional.
Never.
But as soon as the weigh-in's gone, you're like, whatever. Yeah, you just get it in.
It's literally, I'm very disciplined, yeah, but after that weigh-in, you can't be disciplined. I don't know
It's
what
hard,
it
isn't
is.
it? It's
give
like
me-
you say though, it's your body saying,
It is.
all right, because it's
your muscles
pure
screaming.
craving.
At
It's
you.
like you're giving it a bit of water and a bit of food. It's going, what are you doing, mate? Give it all. We
Hey,
need it.
I've got a good story on that. You
Go
know?
on.
So me and Oggy, when I was at Kelbon, so we went out to fight on Bellator, and it was me, Colin Heron went out, and Oggy, with the boxing coach from my gym, one of my best mates, like he come out to corner me. So we've done the weigh-ins, and it was at a hotel. I think it was in Texas somewhere, and it's Texas. There's nothing for miles, and there was no healthy food open anywhere. So the only place that was open was the
Gas station.
all-you-can-eat buffet
Oh, yes.
in the casino. So I've weighed in, and like there's the three of us sat there, and I'm like,
Was that 66 one as well, wasn't it?
no, this one
70.
was this one was at 70,
Oh.
yeah. But you know, you're starving. There's no healthy food. It's all deep fried shite. Do you know what I mean? But I'm starving. I had to eat so much. So I'm just trying to eat as healthy as you possibly can.
Good
like.
luck.
I'll have the hash browns. They're fucking deep fried anyway. And, so I'm sat there and we're eating and all that. And then I was like, stomach don't feel right. Right, I'm gonna go to the toilet. Set off to the toilet, and you could still smoke indoors. Anyway, I don't know if you can now, but then you
for
could still smoke.
fuck's sake.
Mate, I walked through this group of cowboys there with these big 10-gallon hats on and all that. They're all big cigars and that. And as I walked through the middle of them, the smoke just hit me. I'm feeling sick anyway. My stomach's jumping. I breathed this smoke and it went spewed everywhere, all over the floor in the casino. These lot just thought I was a pisshead, didn't they? They were like, "Oh, had a bit too much to drink, have you, boy?" And I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." Cracked on and went to the
I heard
toilet.
Bellator do shows in mad places like that.
Yeah, that was
Mad Indian reserves. And that.
That's what that. I think that's one.
Yeah, well,
Where did we do Daly and
Slackers, Mills
MVP?
and-
Yeah.
Daly MVP was like, hang on, you got two British fighters and you're doing it fucking where now? Connecticut?
Yeah, but wherever them two guys fight, everyone in the world will tune in, won't they?
Yeah.
everyone
What
in
did you
the
think of
Can
the
you
fight?
imagine what the crowd would have been like in, I don't know, Wembley?
Yeah, come on, that should have happened in Wembley.
Yeah,
I
it should
think.
have, yeah. But from their point of view, they want to sell pay-per-views, don't they?
That's a good point. The gate's nothing compared to the pay-per-view.
Yeah,
really.
true, yeah.
And
that's
the Paramount, you know, how much are Paramount paying them
Yeah.
for them? Bellator just
But
seems to
even
have loads of dough, mate.
Connecticut, though, and not in Vegas.
Bellator just pumping dough out, mate. Pumping shows out left, right, and centre with big talent.
I don't
Fair play to 'em.
think Bellator ever go to Vegas, do they?
I think they probably
Don't think
swerve
that.
it, don't they, because the UFC
Yeah,
has
that's
basically
what I
made
think,
it
yeah.
his home.
Yeah.
But
That's
they
what
do
I
a lot
mean.
in LA, don't they?
That's why PFL, I don't know. They've got the Vegas, they've got the New York venues, they've got ESPN. They're the only one that's on ESPN with the UFC.
They got one in New York.
They're like proper sliding in on him, mate.
Whereabouts in New York is it?
MSG, have you heard? Did I tell you? Hey, they proper slide in on it. UFC must be fuming with them, mate. How they've come into Vegas, done a show when nobody else is.
Is there any connection between the two?
Nah.
Nothing, no.
And then they've took the ESPN deal with them, and they're the only one on there, and they're probably thinking, hang on a minute, who are you just flying in? Innit? And like,
it's good for the sport, though, isn't it? It's
is.
good for the sport to have that bit of
It is, because if you fall out with Uncle Dana a few years ago,
yeah, you were screwed.
Forget about it. Yeah, go back to working at Mackey's.
There is quite a few short, like
Loads,
when we like
Bellator,
some
PFL.
me and you turned pro, being a UK fighter, getting in the UFC was like just never going to happen.
1%.
Was it? It was like, and then there was no other big shows to get signed onto, was there?
It's true.
But now there is quite a few big shows. There's
Loads,
loads, mate.
paying
Brave,
good dough.
yeah, paying good money.
Yeah, it's good. You can be a full-time fighter now.
Yeah, I've just been talking to Ian Butlin today. Actually, he's on. I think it's called the MMA. I think it's just called the MMA series or something. Ian will probably put me right on it later. But he's saying now he's doing it. He's travelling round with them. They're doing pros who've got like 5 to 10 pro fights on this show. And then that's going to be the feeder to the main M1 Global show. So if you do well on that, you'll get through to a contract for the.
Is M1 still going? Yeah,
yeah.
Another one. That's
it's good, mate. They've got
in
some
Russia.
They've
got them fucking knights, haven't they? That do the fucking fights in the middle of the ring.
The Russians are mad, mate. They'll do anything.
Well, Ian does all the commentary.
Yeah,
for
he
them
does.
all.
Yeah, he's been in them for a while, hasn't he?
He's been around the game forever, man.
He has.
Yeah, one of the
He has.
true
He is a
pioneers,
pioneer.
mate.
He is.
True
He
pioneer,
is.
yeah.
Definitely is.
Yeah.
He definitely is. Like yourself, mate. I remember when I was a kid.
Yeah, but Ian was
watching
my
him.
first coach, weren't he? Ian and Dave were my first. So they was like,
Look at the generations.
Before,
how
do you
they're
know
just
what I mean?
going from
Yeah.
one to another to another.
Well, the education level as well, and that's not in any way a fucking slight on the Butlins, because obviously they were fucking absolute gangsters and pioneers of the MMA in the UK. But because you've got like you lads that have gone and fought across the world, bringing that back and coaching that,
everything develops.
everything goes into another level.
And we'll be saying that in 10 years.
Yeah.
The guys that I've got coming through the gym now, I look at them and I think, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He's not even an amateur fight yet. He would have beat me in my pro debut.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, it's serious.
Literally.
Well, look at the
amateurs.
IMAFs are ridiculous.
Yes.
I'm off what a format.
Well, look at more. You're just talking about more.
I know. Flying.
23 amateur fights. That wasn't a thing 10 years ago.
No.
Remember amateur fights? Semi-pro. Do you remember semi-pro back in? Did you have any semi-pros?
I had semi-pros, but do you remember the amateurs with no headshots?
No. You had Freddie on what's it called? Clash of Warriors. Doing. I had a few things on his, mate. There was elbows, the lot. And he was calling it semi-pro, so you didn't have to pay.
Yeah. I think I had about 5. Because do you remember the old school amateur? There was no headshots at all, was there?
Oh, they just stand.
Do you remember? It was
that might have been even before me. You might even be showing your age.
Yeah,
mate.
there was no edge, so it was basically grappling with leg kicks in a cage. It was like that. What and obviously, like I said, when I started, it was Ian and Dave Butlin were my cornermen. Can you imagine saying to them, like, I want to fight with no headshots? They'd be like,
how's that going to work?
Fucking for real. So obviously, I had none of them amateur fights. I went straight into the semi-pro fights, like you're saying, which were basically pro fights.
Semi-pro.
But not getting paid. They were 5-minute rounds as well. Do you know what I mean?
5-minute rounds, yeah, with elbows and that. And I thought, I fought on Danny Mitchell's show once, and that was the same. He did the same. Danny, he's fucking tight bastard. So was that? I can't remember what it was called. It was in some ring, and
I fought Danny. What was he called? Thai boxer. He was like a champion Thai boxer.
Danny.
You'll know him if I say his name.
What, on Cage Warriors?
No, I fought him on one of Mick Noakes' shows up north. Do you remember in the North East? Pride and Glory.
Yeah. Oh,
in a ring about literally about
Ross
that
Pearson
big.
used to be on that.
Yeah, Ross was on him in a workman's club.
Yeah, it was.
Like tiny. There's probably about 40 people in there, all smoking and drinking and that.
I saw Saul Rogers fight in a church. I think it was his semi-pro debut. I think it was called MMA Max. It was like in Bradford or something like that. He's fucking tuned some kid up.
Yeah.
It is where the sport's gone from there to now. I look at it, mate, and I think, wow, even in my lifetime and yours now.
Yes.
From sports halls, smoking bifters, mate, to like MSG to Vegas. To
mate, but even the standard, the local shows now, like, your ICEs and your FCCs and that.
Brilliant.
As a promotional, like as a spectacle, they are very good, well-run shows, aren't they?
What was the ones at Victoria Warehouse called recently?
Tanko.
No, not Tanko. The recent ones that they had. No, is it Celtic Gladiator maybe?
Have you never thought of it yourself?
Well.
Jumping into promotions and doing that?
Nah, it's not. I don't think you should do the two. I don't think you should be a promoter and a coach, personally.
Yeah, Bren.
When did I do that?
for me, I don't. Well, then again, when I say I don't think you should, I don't think I should, because I'm not. I'm shit at anything to do with like selling things. Like
Organising.
if someone comes, no, I'm organising. I'm good.
Right. Okay.
But like selling shit, like I don't sell t-shirts at my gym. Someone will say the other day, yesterday in fact, one of the kids was wanting to buy some boxing gloves, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm rubbish at that.
Right.
Sort of
Okay.
shit.
So you know your strengths.
So
and
like,
being a
I just like
promoter's
to
not one of them.
coach people, like, and help people, and that. I think as a promoter, you've got to be a bit of a salesman, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've
No.
got-
No.
I can't
It's a
do
certain.
that, man.
It is a
It's
skill
not for me. That.
It's a skill in itself.
And I never want, because you know you have. Sometimes you have guys who like promote the shows, and like they put all their fighters on it, and then I've just seen it so many times that the circle comes round and it ends up getting them a bad reputation, and everyone goes, "Oh, they only
He matched him for that.
they give him bums, they give their own fighters bums and easy matches and blah blah blah." And I just never want that thing to be associated
attached
with me.
to
Yeah, I just again, I'm like you as well. I follow my passion. Coaching's my passion. Fighting's my passion. Promoting is not my passion, so I ain't gonna do it. So yeah. It's not
So
for
the
me.
fire's still in the belly.
Yeah, the fire's in the
It's
belly,
deep
mate,
in the belly.
but not from promoting.
It's good though. It's good. It's good to see you're in a good place now. You got the gym. The gym probably the best gym in the Northwest, if not the country now,
Nice one,
facility wise.
Appreciate that.
And obviously the coaching's great. I see your classes are packed out every week.
Always, yeah.
So you've took MMA now and you've made a life from it.
Yeah.
That's a sustainable income for the rest of your life.
Until COVID. It'll come back round,
Is
won't
it
it?
as all? Yeah,
What,
but you've
COVID?
set a mad foundation for the future for people that are coming through.
Yeah.
And to see that the fire's still in there to compete.
Yeah, man.
Because I didn't know, I've not spoke to you in a while, I didn't know what was going on, but it's good to see that that's still there.
Yeah, nice one,
Mate, great place.
Yeah, appreciate it,
You
man.
are.
Yeah.
It's good to have you on.
Yeah. What's the crack? Are we? How long do we do? Because I could go all day.
We'll roll it in now.
Yeah, I mean, well, literally, we don't really have a fucking
We
set
don't
time.
have anything,
just-
mate. There's
we
no
just
planning on this.
I know.
start
For everyone at
and
home, I
start
was like,
talking.
I messaged Brendan. I was like, "Is there a format for the show? How does it go?" And he was like, "Fuck knows, just turn up. We'll see."
Turn up, get a coffee and just chat pure shite, mate, basically.
Kind of worked out that way as well, did it?
Yeah.
Happy days. Right, make sure to go give Stapes a follow. We'll throw his Instagram. You use Instagram?
Instagram Stapes 50 cal.
And go and check out his gym, mate. If you want to learn MMA, this is the place to go. Northwest.
Yeah, Rochdale, isn't it?
Yeah, SPG Rochdale. Pop down.
Right, cheers for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe. We'll be back next week. Are we having next week?
To be confirmed.
All right, okay, cool. Right, see you in a bit.